If you had a website for a while, you know that SEO takes some time. And I'm not talking 30 minutes a day, I'm talking dozens and dozens of hours per week for a really long period of time. I know it's not what you want to hear, but hey, I got some good news for you today, and I'm going to save you some time. Hey everyone, I'm Patel, and today I'm going to break down the 6 time wasters of SEO. In other words, you need to stop doing these activities. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. And if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification. That way when I release more content like this, you'll get notified. Time waster number 1, checking your rankings daily or even multiple times a day. Do you know how often I check my rankings or even my Google Analytics stats? If you're guessing multiple times a day, you're wrong. I check them once a week, and that's it. You don't need to know your rankings more than once a week. Now, my Google Analytics traffic, I do try to check it roughly once a day, sometimes once every 2 or 3 days. The reason being is I want to be notified if something happens with the Google algorithm update or I get hit or my traffic tanks. Because let's face it, if you check your rankings multiple times in a day, it's not really going to do anything. If you log into Google Analytics multiple times a day, it's not going to really do anything. You need to focus on execution and stop wasting your time continually looking at reports. Here's the easy thing to do. Sign up for Ubersuggest. Ubersuggest has free rank tracking. Go to the dashboard, sign up, add your site, add your keywords. It'll notify you once a week automatically over email your average rankings for all the most important keywords that you're tracking, if they're moving up or down or how much you're improving, and it'll even tell you new site errors that it's finding from an SEO perspective. That way you don't need to obsess about it on a daily basis, and it'll just do the hard work for you, best of all, for free. Time waster number 2, being obsessive about keyword density. Look, people write content all the time. I hear them always saying like, oh, I need to put this keyword in this H1 tag, this keyword in this title tag, this keyword in this meta description tab. When I write content, I don't do any of this. I just write content for the user. I try to create the most appealing title that wants people to click through, read, and get hooked. Just like an author would do when they're writing a book, or just like a journalist would do when they're writing a news article. It's not about keywords. It's about quality content. Sure, if I'm writing about dog food, naturally the keyword dog food and other keywords related to dog food will show up in there. But it's not like I'm actually manually shoving these keywords in. Think about the person. Do what's best for them. And naturally, you may put these keywords in your title tag, meta description, H1 tags, your introduction, and even conclusion paragraphs. But don't obsess about it where you have to put them in each and every single area. If it doesn't flow and sound right, people are going to want to read your content. They're going to go back, right, when they're searching on Google, hit the back button. That's going to send bad user metrics to Google, and it's going to hurt your rankings. The third mistake, building an excessive amount of backlinks to increase domain authority. You know, I have an ad agency called Neil Patel Digital, and we get so many people saying, I want more links and I want to increase my domain authority. I've outranked sites that have domain authorities of 80 and 90 with the site that only has a domain authority of 40 or 50. I know Moz has created the word domain authority. In Ubersuggest, we use the word domain score. Everyone has their own version of it. Google doesn't use domain authority, domain score, or any of these other metrics. Sure, directionally, the higher the authority, the better off you are, but that's not going to guarantee rankings. If someone has amazing domain authority, and I've seen this time and time again, like with the Entrepreneurs, the Forbes, the Huffington Post, they have all these guest posters creating shit content. You think that stuff's ranking everywhere? No. Why? Because the quality sucks. Versus a small mom and pop writing a mating article that everyone wants to read and share, that's going to do way better. Don't obsess about domain authority. Focus on the end experience for the user. The fourth issue, only focusing on highly competitive keywords. Yes, going after these head terms can drive a lot of traffic, but they don't drive sales compared to long tail phrases. Go to the keyword ideas report within Ubersuggest, look at the prepositions and comparison words as well as the suggests. That will give you keywords that are more likely to convert. Yeah, they won't drive you as much traffic, but who cares? At least you're generating sales. I was talking to one of my buddies, Mike, at Dr. Axe, and he runs marketing there. And everyone knows that, at least in the SEO industry, Dr. Axe, has lost some traffic when it comes to SEO, and they've got, hit here and there for some Google algorithms. But you know what? A lot of that Google traffic hasn't really crushed their revenue. Why? Because when someone's searching for an article on nutrition of banana, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to convert into a paying customer when it comes to supplements. So it's not all about quantity. Go after quality-based keywords. The fifth time waster, you're focusing more on desktop devices versus mobile devices. Did you know that over 50% of the searches done on Google are now for mobile devices? It's a huge ranking factor, so much so they have a mobile first index. And you can see this with the recent BERT update that Google's putting a ton of focus on content, web design, especially for mobile devices. So make sure you're adding structured markup to your site and you're using mobile optimized themes because this will help you do really well in the long run. The sixth issue, trying to meet unreasonable SEO expectations. Look, if you're just cranking and hammering, putting so many hours in because you're trying to hit a specific time frame, it's just not going to happen. You don't control when Google really wants to shift rankings. That's not up to you. It's up to them. So by you spending double, triple the time, it's not always going to help you get higher rankings. That's why I don't obsess about Google. But you know what you should obsess about? And I got this from Jeff Bezos from watching an interview of him online. He obsesses about his customer. He doesn't obsess about Google. He doesn't obsess about his competition. He obsesses about his clients, his customers. If you do that and you do what's best for them, in the long run, Google should place you where you belong. So don't try to hit unrealistic expectations by obsessing about Google. Obsess about your customers. Because when you do what's best for them, that's when you grow. Now, if you need help with your rankings, your traffic, check out my ad agency, Neil Patel Digital. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching.